Welcome to Audiobook's Vault. In this video, we will summarize the book, The Practicing Mind by Thomas Sterner. Let's start. Introduction. What if the key to unlocking your potential isn't found in relentless striving or obsessing over results, but in learning to fully embrace the process of getting there? Imagine feeling at peace while pursuing your goals, free from the frustration of perfectionism and the anxiety of unmet expectations. In The Practicing Mind, Thomas M. Sterner invites you to step into a new way of living, one where growth, focus, and fulfillment emerge naturally through a mindful, deliberate approach to life. This isn't just another book about self-discipline or motivation. It's a transformative guide to mastering the art of being present, breaking free from the mental traps of impatience, self-criticism, and distraction. Drawing from his personal experiences as a musician, athlete, and meditation practitioner, Sterner weaves together relatable stories, practical techniques, and timeless wisdom to show you how to align your mindset with your ambitions. What makes The Practicing Mind so compelling is its universal relevance. Whether you're learning a skill, chasing a dream, or simply trying to manage the chaos of everyday life, the principles in this book will empower you to work smarter, stay calm under pressure, and find joy in every step of your journey. Curious about how to reframe failure, harness the power of habits, and turn patience into your greatest ally? Dive into The Practicing Mind and discover how to transform your relationship with progress and with yourself. The journey to mastering your mind begins here. Chapter 1. The Learning Begins. In the opening chapter, Sterner invites readers into his personal journey, illustrating how he discovered the importance of focusing on the process through his early experiences with music and golf. As a young piano student, he was fascinated by music but quickly became frustrated by the challenges of mastering complex pieces. His desire to reach the level of proficiency he envisioned was overwhelming. Similarly, his passion for golf was marred by an obsession with achieving perfection. These frustrations arose from his fixation on the end goal, or the product, rather than the learning journey itself. Through these struggles, Sterner realized that this approach drained him of the joy of the activities he initially loved. In both music and golf, his focus on immediate success caused him to overlook the gradual, incremental progress necessary for mastery. He began to see that growth and improvement are not instantaneous but are cultivated through consistent, deliberate effort. Sterner shares an epiphany. True fulfillment and success in any endeavor come not from reaching the final goal, but from the process of getting there. He observed that the moments when he was most engaged and at peace were those when he became fully absorbed in the act of practicing itself. By redirecting his focus to the present moment, he could let go of the frustration tied to expectations and instead find joy and satisfaction in the act of doing. One of the critical insights Sterner discusses in this chapter is the role of patience and how it relates to the learning process. Impatience, he argues, stems from an unrealistic expectation of immediate results. However, when one embraces the idea that mastery is a gradual process, patience becomes a natural byproduct. This shift in mindset helped Sterner transform his approach to both music and golf. He began to enjoy each practice session for what it was, a step forward, rather than measuring it against the unattainable ideal of perfection. Sterner also reflects on the impact of external pressures, such as societal and cultural expectations, that emphasize instant gratification and immediate success. These pressures, he suggests, distract people from appreciating the journey of growth and can lead to feelings of inadequacy and burnout. By breaking free from this mindset, he found that his learning became not only more effective but also more enjoyable. Through these personal anecdotes, Sterner sets the stage for the central theme of the book. The idea that a process-oriented mindset is essential for cultivating focus, discipline, and fulfillment. His journey resonates with anyone who has struggled with frustration and impatience in their pursuit of goals. By sharing his transformation, he inspires readers to reconsider their relationship with practice and redefine what success means to them. Chapter 2. Process, not product. In the second chapter, Sterner delves deeper into the philosophy introduced in the first chapter by focusing on the importance of process over product. He asserts that society's emphasis on outcomes, whether it's achieving a specific milestone, acquiring a skill, or completing a project, often leads people to lose sight of the present moment. This mindset, he argues, not only diminishes the joy of the journey but also hinders long-term growth and satisfaction. Stirner emphasizes that the process of practicing something, whether it's playing an instrument, developing a craft, or improving in a sport, is where true learning and growth occur. The final product, such as a completed song or a perfect golf swing, is merely a reflection of the time and effort invested in the process. By shifting one's focus to the act of practice itself, individuals can experience a sense of fulfillment and purpose, regardless of the outcome. To illustrate this concept, Stirner uses the analogy of a carpenter building a cabinet. While the finished cabinet may be beautiful and functional, its creation depends entirely on the carpenter's attention to detail, patience, and skill during each step of the process. If the carpenter were solely fixated on completing the cabinet, they might overlook critical aspects of the work, leading to mistakes or a less satisfying result. In contrast, by immersing themselves in each stage, measuring, cutting, sanding, and assembling, they not only create a better product but also derive greater satisfaction from the act of building. Stirner identifies a key obstacle to embracing the process: the mind's tendency to wander and become preoccupied with future outcomes or past mistakes. He explains that this is a natural human tendency but can be counterproductive when it comes to learning and growth. The solution, he suggests, lies in cultivating mindfulness, a practice of bringing one's attention back to the present moment whenever it drifts away. By doing so, individuals can fully engage with the task at hand and experience a deeper sense of focus and clarity. Mindfulness, Stirner argues, is not just a tool for improving performance, but also a way of enriching life as a whole. When people learn to immerse themselves in the present moment, they begin to notice and appreciate details they might otherwise overlook. For example, a musician who is fully present during practice might discover subtleties in the music that enhance their interpretation, while a golfer who focuses on the act of swinging the club might find a rhythm and consistency that improves their game. Another important concept introduced in this chapter is the idea that progress is not linear but often consists of small, incremental steps. Stirner explains that while this can be frustrating for those who are outcome-driven, it is a natural and necessary part of the learning process. By focusing on small, manageable goals within the larger process, individuals can maintain their motivation and build confidence over time. Stirner also addresses the misconception that focusing on the process means abandoning ambition or lowering standards. On the contrary, he argues that a process-oriented mindset enhances performance by reducing anxiety and fostering a sense of calm and control. When individuals are no longer fixated on the end result, they can approach challenges with greater creativity, resilience, and adaptability. The chapter concludes with a powerful reminder. Life itself is a process, not a product. Just as in any skill or discipline, the journey of living is filled with opportunities for growth, discovery, and self-improvement. By embracing the process, individuals can cultivate a sense of purpose and fulfillment that extends beyond specific achievements or milestones. Chapter 3. It's how you look at it. In this chapter, Stirner emphasizes the profound impact of perspective on our experiences. He explains that how individuals perceive their circumstances directly influences their emotional responses, decision-making, and overall sense of well-being. By altering one's viewpoint, challenges can be reframed as opportunities for growth, and seemingly insurmountable obstacles can be approached with optimism and resilience. Stirner introduces the idea that perspective is not fixed but malleable. He shares examples from his own life to illustrate how shifting his mindset transformed difficult situations into learning experiences. For instance, he recounts moments of frustration when faced with setbacks during his musical training or golf practice. Initially, these challenges felt like failures, but over time, he realized that they were essential components of the learning process. By viewing mistakes as opportunities to identify areas for improvement, Stirner was able to approach them with curiosity rather than frustration. One of the key lessons in this chapter is the importance of detaching from immediate emotions and taking a step back to gain a broader perspective. Stirner suggests that when individuals become too focused on their frustrations or fears, they lose sight of the bigger picture. He advises cultivating an observer mindset, where one can objectively assess a situation without becoming emotionally entangled. This practice helps reduce stress and fosters a sense of clarity, enabling individuals to respond to challenges more effectively. Stirner also addresses the tendency to view challenges as negative experiences rather than as opportunities for growth. He argues that discomfort and struggle are inherent in any process of learning and development. Instead of resisting these experiences, individuals can choose to embrace them as natural and necessary steps on the path to mastery. By adopting this perspective, they can transform feelings of inadequacy or failure into motivation and drive. To further illustrate the power of perspective, Stirner highlights the role of expectations. He explains that unrealistic expectations often lead to disappointment and frustration, while realistic and flexible expectations promote patience and perseverance. For example, someone learning a new skill might expect to see significant progress within a short time, only to feel discouraged when their progress is slower than anticipated. By adjusting their expectations to align with the reality of the learning process, they can maintain their enthusiasm and continue working toward their goals. Stirner concludes this chapter by emphasizing the importance of self-awareness in cultivating a positive perspective. He encourages readers to regularly examine their thoughts and beliefs, identify patterns that contribute to negative emotions, and consciously choose perspectives that promote growth and resilience. This practice not only enhances one's ability to navigate challenges, but also fosters a deeper sense of fulfillment and purpose in life. Chapter 4. Creating the Habits We Desire. In the next chapter, Stirner shifts focus to the deliberate formation of habits and the role they play in achieving long-term goals. He begins by defining habits as behaviors that are repeated so often that they become automatic. While habits can be powerful tools for positive change, they can also work against individuals if they are not consciously cultivated. Stirner argues that the key to creating habits that align with one's goals lies in mindfulness and intentionality. Stirner explains that habit formation is a gradual process that requires consistency and patience. He likens it to planting and nurturing a seed. Just as a seed needs time, water, and care to grow into a healthy plant, a habit requires regular effort and attention to take root. While this process can be challenging, he emphasizes that the rewards are well worth the effort. Once a desired behavior becomes a habit, it no longer requires significant willpower or conscious thought, making it easier to maintain over the long term. One of the core principles Stirner introduces in this chapter is the importance of starting small. He advises readers to focus on incremental changes rather than attempting to overhaul their routines overnight. For example, someone who wants to develop a daily meditation practice might start by meditating for just 5 minutes a day. By setting manageable goals, they can build momentum and gradually increase their commitment as the habit becomes ingrained. Stirner also highlights the role of mindfulness in habit formation. He explains that mindfulness involves being fully present and aware of one's actions, thoughts, and emotions. By practicing mindfulness, individuals can identify behaviors that do not serve their goals and consciously choose alternatives that align with their values. For example, someone trying to quit a habit of procrastination might use mindfulness to recognize when they are avoiding a task and redirect their focus to taking the first small step toward completing it. Another critical aspect of habit formation that Stirner addresses is the importance of repetition. He emphasizes that consistency is the foundation of any successful habit. While it can be tempting to skip a day or take shortcuts, he warns that inconsistency can undermine progress and make it harder to establish a habit. By committing to regular practice, individuals can reinforce the neural pathways associated with the desired behavior, making it more automatic over time. Stirner also discusses the role of self-discipline in creating habits. He acknowledges that self-discipline can be challenging, especially in the early stages of habit formation, but he reassures readers that it becomes easier with practice. To strengthen self-discipline, he recommends breaking tasks into smaller, more manageable steps and focusing on one habit at a time. He also encourages readers to celebrate their progress, no matter how small, as a way of maintaining motivation and reinforcing positive behaviors. Throughout the chapter, Stirner emphasizes the importance of aligning habits with one's goals and values. He explains that habits are most effective when they are connected to a larger sense of purpose. For example, someone who values health and wellness might find it easier to establish a habit of regular exercise if they view it as a way of honoring their body and improving their quality of life. By connecting habits to meaningful goals, individuals can cultivate a sense of intrinsic motivation that sustains their efforts over time. Stirner concludes the chapter by encouraging readers to view habit formation as an ongoing process rather than a destination. He reminds them that setbacks are a natural part of the journey and should not be seen as failures. Instead, he advises using setbacks as opportunities to reflect, adjust, and recommit to the process. With patience, mindfulness, and consistency, anyone can create habits that support their goals and lead to a more fulfilling life. Chapter 5. Perception change creates patience. Patience, Stirner argues, is not an innate quality but a skill that can be cultivated by altering one's perception of time, effort, and progress. In this chapter, he explains how impatience often arises from unrealistic expectations and a fixation on the end result. By shifting our perceptions, we can foster a sense of patience that enhances both our experience of the present moment and our ability to achieve long-term goals. Stirner begins by exploring the root causes of impatience. He identifies it as a response to the gap between where we are and where we want to be. When individuals focus too heavily on the final outcome, they often feel frustrated by the perceived slowness of their progress. This frustration is compounded by societal influences that prioritize instant gratification and discourage persistence. Stirner argues that this mindset is counterproductive as it leads to unnecessary stress and detracts from the joy of the process. To counteract impatience, Stirner encourages readers to reframe their perception of progress. He highlights the importance of recognizing that growth is incremental and that each step forward, no matter how small, contributes to the larger goal. By appreciating these small milestones, individuals can maintain a sense of motivation and fulfillment throughout the journey. Stirner shares personal anecdotes to illustrate this point, describing how he learned to view each practice session as a success in itself, rather than as a means to an end. One of the key strategies Stirner introduces is the concept of shifting time perception. He explains that impatience often stems from an overemphasis on future outcomes, which causes individuals to lose touch with the present moment. By focusing on the present and immersing oneself fully in the task at hand, it becomes easier to let go of worries about how long the process will take. This shift in perspective not only reduces frustration but also enhances the quality of one's work. Stirner also discusses the role of mindfulness in cultivating patience. He emphasizes that mindfulness is not about ignoring challenges or pretending they don't exist, but about approaching them with a sense of calm and acceptance. When individuals practice mindfulness, they become more aware of their thoughts and emotions, allowing them to respond to frustration with greater clarity and composure. Stirner suggests simple techniques, such as deep breathing and conscious redirection of focus, to help readers stay grounded and present during difficult moments. Another important theme in this chapter is the relationship between patience and self-compassion. Stirner points out that impatience is often accompanied by harsh self-criticism, which can erode confidence and motivation. By treating oneself with kindness and understanding, individuals can create a more supportive internal environment that encourages persistence and resilience. Stirner reminds readers that setbacks are a natural part of the learning process and should be viewed as opportunities for growth rather than as failures. In conclusion, Stirner asserts that patience is a choice, a deliberate decision to embrace the process and trust in the value of consistent effort. By changing their perceptions, individuals can cultivate a sense of patience that not only enhances their personal growth but also enriches their overall experience of life. Chapter 6. The 4 S words. In this chapter, Stirner introduces 4 foundational principles: simplify, small, short, and slow, that serve as practical tools for maintaining focus, motivation, and balance in any endeavor. These principles are designed to help individuals break down complex tasks, manage overwhelm, and stay engaged with the process. Simplify. Stirner begins with the concept of simplifying one's approach to goals and tasks. He argues that complexity often leads to confusion and frustration, making it harder to stay motivated. By simplifying a task, individuals can reduce mental clutter and focus on what truly matters. Stirner explains that simplification involves breaking a goal into its most essential components and eliminating unnecessary distractions. For example, a musician learning a challenging piece might focus on mastering one section at a time, rather than attempting to play the entire piece all at once. Similarly, someone trying to improve their fitness might prioritize a single activity, such as walking or stretching, rather than overloading themselves with multiple workouts. Simplification, Stirner notes, is not about cutting corners or avoiding effort. Instead, it's about creating a clear and manageable path forward. By simplifying their approach, individuals can reduce stress and increase their chances of success. Small. The second principle, small, emphasizes the importance of breaking tasks into smaller, more manageable steps. Stirner explains that large goals can feel overwhelming, leading to procrastination or burnout. By focusing on small, incremental actions, individuals can make steady progress without becoming discouraged. Stirner likens this approach to building a brick wall. Instead of trying to construct the entire wall at once, the builder focuses on laying one brick at a time with care and precision. Over time, these small efforts add up to create something significant. This principle is particularly useful for individuals who struggle with perfectionism, as it encourages them to prioritize progress over perfection. Short. The third principle, short, involves setting realistic time limits for tasks and goals. Stirner explains that long, unstructured work sessions can lead to fatigue and loss of focus. By working in shorter, more concentrated bursts, individuals can maintain their energy and enthusiasm. Stirner suggests using techniques such as time blocking or the Pomodoro technique to structure work sessions. For example, a writer might set a timer for 25 minutes of focused writing, followed by a short break. This approach not only enhances productivity but also creates a sense of accomplishment with each completed session. The short principle also applies to goal setting. Stirner advises readers to set short-term goals that are achievable within a defined time frame. These smaller milestones provide a sense of progress and keep individuals motivated to continue working toward their larger objectives. Slow. The final principle, slow, encourages individuals to approach tasks with deliberate care and mindfulness. Stirner explains that rushing often leads to mistakes, frustration, and a sense of being overwhelmed. By slowing down, individuals can work more efficiently and enjoy the process. Stirner highlights the importance of quality over speed, particularly in activities that require skill and precision. For example, a pianist practicing slowly can focus on each note and movement, ensuring accuracy and building a strong foundation for faster performance. Similarly, someone learning a new language might benefit from spending extra time on pronunciation and grammar, rather than trying to memorize vocabulary as quickly as possible. Slowing down also promotes a sense of presence and connection with the task. Stirner argues that when individuals rush through activities, they miss out on the opportunity to fully experience and appreciate them. By taking their time, they can find joy and satisfaction in the process itself. Chapter 7. Equanimity and DOC. In this chapter, Stirner explores the concept of equanimity, emotional balance and calmness, and introduces a practical framework called the Do, Observe, Correct, DOC technique to help readers improve their skills and mindset without self-judgment. Equanimity. The foundation of emotional balance. Stirner defines equanimity as the ability to remain calm, centered, and emotionally stable in the face of challenges and uncertainty. He explains that equanimity is not about suppressing emotions or avoiding difficulties, but about responding to situations with clarity and composure. This emotional balance allows individuals to navigate setbacks and obstacles without becoming overwhelmed or reactive. According to Stirner, achieving equanimity requires cultivating self-awareness and detachment. He emphasizes the importance of observing one's thoughts and emotions without judgment or attachment. By doing so, individuals can create a mental space that allows them to respond to situations more thoughtfully and effectively. Stirner likens this practice to the mindset of a skilled athlete or performer who remains focused and composed, regardless of external pressures. Stirner also highlights the role of mindfulness in developing equanimity. He encourages readers to practice mindfulness techniques, such as deep breathing and meditation, to strengthen their ability to stay present and centered. These practices not only enhance emotional regulation but also improve concentration and resilience. The Do, Observe, Correct (DOC) technique. To complement the concept of equanimity, Stirner introduces the DOC technique as a practical tool for continuous improvement. This technique involves 3 simple steps. 1. Do. Begin by taking action, whether it's practicing a skill, working on a project, or addressing a challenge. Stirner emphasizes the importance of engaging fully in the task without worrying about perfection. 2. Observe. After completing the action, take a step back to evaluate the results. This observation should be objective and free from self-judgment. Stirner advises readers to approach this step with curiosity, focusing on what can be learned rather than what went wrong. 3. Correct. Based on the observations, make adjustments and refine your approach. This step is about incremental improvement rather than drastic changes. By making small, deliberate corrections, individuals can steadily progress toward their goals. Stirner explains that the DOC technique is rooted in the idea of process-oriented learning. Instead of fixating on outcomes, individuals focus on refining their efforts through ongoing practice and feedback. This approach not only reduces stress and frustration but also fosters a sense of fulfillment and accomplishment. A key aspect of the DOC technique is the elimination of self-judgment. Stirner emphasizes that mistakes and setbacks are natural parts of the learning process and should be viewed as opportunities for growth. By adopting a non-judgmental attitude, individuals can maintain their motivation and confidence, even in the face of challenges. Stirner concludes this chapter by encouraging readers to apply the DOC technique in all areas of their lives, from personal development to professional endeavors. He asserts that this method, combined with equanimity, provides a powerful framework for achieving lasting growth and success. Chapter 8. Teach and Learn from Children. In this chapter, Stirner shifts focus to the unique qualities of children and the valuable lessons adults can learn from their natural approach to life. He highlights children's innate ability to remain present, adapt to change, and approach challenges with curiosity and resilience. By observing and emulating these qualities, adults can cultivate a more mindful and flexible mindset. The wisdom of present-mindedness. Stirner begins by describing how children naturally live in the present moment. Unlike adults, who are often preoccupied with past regrets or future worries, children immerse themselves fully in whatever they are doing. Whether they are playing, learning, or exploring, their attention is focused entirely on the task at hand. Stirner argues that this present-mindedness is a key factor in children's ability to learn and grow so rapidly. By being fully engaged in their experiences, they are able to absorb information, experiment with new ideas, and adapt to their environment with ease. Adults, on the other hand, often struggle to maintain this level of focus and openness due to their tendency to overanalyze and judge themselves. To reconnect with this childlike quality, Stirner encourages readers to practice mindfulness and embrace the present moment in their daily lives. He suggests simple activities, such as spending time in nature or engaging in creative hobbies, to help cultivate a sense of presence and wonder. Adaptability and resilience. Another lesson Stirner highlights is children's remarkable adaptability. When faced with challenges or setbacks, children are more likely to view them as opportunities for learning and growth rather than as failures. For example, a child learning to walk doesn't give up after falling, but instead gets up and tries again, undeterred by the difficulty of the task. Stirner emphasizes that this resilience is rooted in a lack of self-judgment. Unlike adults, who often criticize themselves for making mistakes, children approach challenges with curiosity and a willingness to experiment. Stirner encourages readers to adopt a similar attitude by reframing mistakes as valuable learning experiences. To foster adaptability, Stirner advises practicing flexibility in one's thinking and actions. He suggests experimenting with different approaches to problems and being open to change, even when it feels uncomfortable. By doing so, individuals can develop a more resilient mindset that enables them to thrive in the face of uncertainty. encouraging curiosity and playfulness. Stirner also highlights the importance of curiosity and playfulness in fostering creativity and personal growth. He observes that children approach the world with a sense of wonder and excitement, constantly asking questions and seeking new experiences. This curiosity not only fuels their learning but also makes the process of discovery enjoyable and rewarding. Stirner encourages readers to rekindle their sense of curiosity by exploring new interests, asking questions, and approaching tasks with a spirit of play. He explains that by making the process enjoyable, individuals are more likely to stay motivated and engaged. Teaching and learning from children. While much of the chapter focuses on learning from children, Stirner also discusses the reciprocal nature of teaching and learning. He observes that adults often teach children by modeling behaviors and attitudes, whether consciously or unconsciously. By demonstrating qualities such as patience, kindness, and perseverance, adults can inspire children to adopt these traits in their own lives. At the same time, Stirner emphasizes that adults can learn just as much from children as children can learn from them. By observing how children approach challenges, adapt to change, and find joy in the present moment, adults can gain valuable insights into their own behavior and mindset. Stirner concludes the chapter by encouraging readers to view every interaction with children as an opportunity for mutual learning and growth. He asserts that by adopting a childlike perspective, adults can cultivate a more mindful, adaptable, and fulfilling approach to life. Chapter 9. Your skills are growing. The final chapter of The Practicing Mind by Thomas M. Stirner, titled Your Skills Are Growing, serves as a reassuring conclusion to the book's central themes. Stirner emphasizes that progress is a natural result of deliberate and repeated effort and highlights the importance of recognizing and celebrating personal growth along the journey. This chapter reinforces the value of persistence, self-awareness, and a process-oriented mindset as key components of long-term success and fulfillment. Stirner opens the chapter by affirming that consistent effort, no matter how small, will always lead to improvement over time. He acknowledges that progress may often feel slow or imperceptible, particularly when individuals are deeply immersed in their work or practice. However, he reminds readers that skill development is a cumulative process, with each repetition building on the foundation of previous efforts. This principle applies universally, whether one is learning a new skill, pursuing a professional goal, or cultivating a personal habit. Stirner explains that growth is not linear but often comes in waves, with periods of visible advancement followed by plateaus. These plateaus, he argues, should not be seen as setbacks but as essential phases that allow individuals to consolidate their learning and prepare for the next stage of progress. Stirner's message is one of patience and trust. By staying committed to the process and focusing on consistent practice rather than immediate results, individuals can rest assured that their skills are growing, even when progress feels elusive. A key theme in this chapter is the importance of self-awareness and reflection in recognizing one's growth. Stirner notes that people often underestimate their progress because they fail to step back and evaluate how far they've come. He encourages readers to periodically reflect on their journey, comparing their current abilities to where they started. Stirner highlights the value of celebrating small milestones and achievements along the way. By acknowledging these incremental successes, individuals can reinforce their motivation and maintain a positive outlook. This practice also helps to shift focus away from external validation and toward internal satisfaction, fostering a deeper sense of fulfillment. In this chapter, Stirner also addresses the tendency for individuals to become overly critical of their performance. He cautions against perfectionism, which can create unnecessary stress and detract from the joy of the process. Instead, he advocates for a balanced perspective that values effort and progress over flawlessness. Stirner reminds readers that mastery is not about achieving perfection, but about continually improving and refining one's skills. By embracing imperfection and viewing mistakes as opportunities for growth, individuals can approach their goals with greater confidence and resilience. Stirner concludes the chapter with a call to celebrate personal growth and to take pride in the journey of self-improvement. He emphasizes that every step forward, no matter how small, is a testament to one's dedication and perseverance. By cultivating gratitude for the process and recognizing their own progress, readers can develop a deeper appreciation for their efforts and the growth they achieve. Conclusion. As you close the final chapter of The Practicing Mind, you're left with a powerful and liberating realization: progress isn't about how quickly you reach the finish line, it's about how you engage with the journey. Thomas M. Sterner's insights offer more than just tools for self-improvement. They provide a mindset shift that can transform how you approach every challenge, goal, and experience in life. This book is a reminder that true mastery, whether in skill, mindset, or personal growth, comes not from perfection or instant success, but from mindful repetition and deliberate effort. Sterner's principles, equanimity, the DOC technique, the 4 S words, and the wisdom of process-oriented thinking are all practical and timeless, capable of guiding you through any pursuit. Most importantly, Sterner has shown that the journey itself is the reward. By focusing on the process rather than obsessing over the outcome, you can find peace, joy, and fulfillment in every step. Mistakes become opportunities, patience grows naturally, and the act of practicing becomes its own form of mastery. As you move forward, take with you the confidence that your skills are growing, your habits are strengthening, and your ability to stay present is deepening. Let the practicing mind be your constant companion as you continue to embrace growth with intention, grace, and mindfulness. The art of practicing is, after all, the art of truly living. If you enjoyed the summary, then like the video and subscribe to Audiobooks Vault. Tell us if there is any other book you want us to summarize. Goodbye.